What's happening in real estate right now? So it's December. It's December, I don't know, 7th today. Last time you talked a little bit about end of the year. What's going on now?
Yeah, well, essentially, you know what? There's three kinds of people right now in real estate.
Okay.
There are the people who have checked out, want nothing to do with it because they want to focus on the holidays.
Yeah.
There are those that are actively engaged with it, both buying and selling, and those are the people who are trying to capitalize on the low inventory and the low competition. And then there are those who I consider to be the really smart people who are getting ready to put their homes on the market in the first quarter of this year.
So getting it to first base right now.
Yeah.
You might be selling first quarter. I think there's going to be a little bit of a frenzy in real estate. So you get in the game right now, start preparing things. Great way to do that. Go to brokerkurt.com. Now, Kurt, you always come on here. You come on my radio show. You're on this week, and you tend to be ahead of the curve. And what's funny is, as we talk about the media, and you always say it's 60 to 90 days late. But what's so funny about, you have the media, but then on the other hand, you have the professional, the real estate professional. A lot of the real estate professional gets their information from the media. The media, who knows where they get their information from? So it's like, which is the tail wagging the dog? Mm-hmm. Every time we have you come in here, you really tell us what's going to be happening in the future. So I love that. So what's really happening right now? What's happening with inventory? I know we have a slide of some numbers that we're going to get into. What's going on?
Without getting into specific numbers, interestingly enough, though, once again this month, our inventory is actually lower than what it was last December. And so what's happening...
Lower inventory than last December.
Correct. So what's happening is our inventory levels are actually tracking exactly what happened at the end of last year. So what that means is our inventory became the lowest in December and January, and all of the people who put their homes in the first quarter of the market last year were actually the ones who sold quicker, got more offers, and got better pricing. Then what happened in the second and third quarter was that things leveled off, and then once the interest rates spiked for a little bit, things leveled off and prices actually went down a little bit. So the best time right now is really to get your home prepared, because there's going to be a lot of new buyers in the new market.
Pent-up buyers.
The inventory is going to be at its lowest at the beginning of the year, and they're going to sell the quickest and probably get multiple offers.
So if you're buying, might make sense to get your head in the game,
Absolutely.
less competition.
Same
if
thing.
You're selling, your advice is, hey, get some things ready.
Get it ready now.
Maybe get that free inspection Rebecca was talking about. Maybe just make sure things are in line, have a conversation with you. I think a great idea is reach out to Kurt and let's see what the value of your property is. I mean, yeah, you're going to list it and he's going to market and do all that, but rather than go spend $500 on an appraisal, one of the things you can do, we've been doing this for our viewers, if you go to craigsewing.com today, we're going to help you save $500 on an appraisal, and we're going to give you an idea of what the value of your home is without having to pay for that appraisal. That'd probably be a smart thing to do before the end of the year. Talk about a good Christmas gift. Go to craigsewing.com. We'll be happy to get that for you. I also noticed in that slide that you're seeing properties get multiple offers even now?
Yeah, even now, for two reasons. One, like I said, the inventory is getting low again. And then two, in my particular instance, it's because we're doing a lot of new and aggressive marketing that really encompasses not just the property, but the features of the community that it's located in, just like the video that we saw a little bit earlier.
Okay, so you have a home.
Right.
So anybody, they love their home. There's an emotional attachment there. And often a real estate professional is going to come in there and be like, oh, it's a beautiful home. Here's what we need to do to get top dollar. Sometimes they'll stage the home. Now, you talked about this on the radio show on Thursday. It's not necessarily about the home as it is about the lay of the land. I think this is where we start talking about your helicopter skills.
Right. Well, it is about the property.
Of course,
don't get
I'm
me
not
wrong
ignoring
there.
that, right.
But what happens is a lot of times when people market or other agents put properties on the market, and sometimes we even see it around here, where they just simply say, well, this is a 3-bedroom, 4-bath home, it's 1,200 square feet, and that's that. And
Which is important.
Which is important, right.
Yep.
But there's a lot more to buying a home and selling it. And that is the fact that when you're buying a property, you're also buying into a community. You're buying into a lifestyle. You're buying into a lot of amenities, not only goes along with the HOA, but goes along with down the road, whether it's near a golf course or hiking trails or the racetrack or near a beach. So all of those things I feel really should be encompassed and put together with the property, because sometimes sellers think, well, I'm in La Jolla, right? And everybody who's interested in buying in La Jolla probably already knows everything about it. But that isn't the truth. The reality is there are a lot of people here who come from other parts of the state.
Good point.
Other parts of the country, and there's a big demographic of people who are even coming from abroad. And so if you want to market to all of those people and get the most amount of exposure to your property, you want to encompass everything that comes along with the community and the property itself.
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, here's an example of some of the overhead shots that you do.
Right.
Just throw it on us. Let's just have a video. There we go. But no, it makes a lot of sense, but I don't think that people actually do that. Professionals actually do that, where they give you that helicopter view, no pun intended, to where you can see. Because, I mean, even if you're talking about Carmel Valley or you mentioned La Jolla, even within those markets, there's different areas of the market. Might be closer to the water. Hey, you can see here how close you are to this school district versus this one.
Right.
You can see how close you are to being able to get to the beach or whatever it may be.
And that's what that first video that I've created about the community is about. It talks about the zip code and kind of the 5 and 6 different areas and how different each one of them are. Because people in San Diego may be familiar with that or heard of that zip code or Carmel Valley, but they may not understand all the different areas, what they're called, and what attributes that they have. So I feel that's a big part of marketing a property. Same thing when it comes to open houses. You know, sometimes buyers walk into an open house and they have an agent there and they say, thanks for coming, you know, it's 1,000 square feet, 2 bedrooms, whatever the case. We actually do a lot more than that. What we do, we bring in a lot of information about, in that area, schools are important. So we have boards and maps of all of the different school districts so that people can actually see which school it is that they would go to, because that is an important factor. We'll have charts and diagrams of the hiking trails that are around. We will have
as part of the open house.
As part of the open house. So not only do you get this house.
So you're on the seller's side.
Right.
And you're helping your seller to really attract buyers by really getting specific and let's be honest, playing to the emotion of the purchase.
And explain to them what they're getting with this property aside from just granite countertops and X amount of bedrooms. So they can see that themselves when they walk through. So we talk about, here's the hiking trails, here's the nearest golf course, here's, you know, what the greens fees are, the reputation of the schools, the reputation of the golf courses per se. So there's a lot of things that you can incorporate that go along with the property that add value that necessarily people don't always understand or know about.
And here's a huge takeaway for you. Kurt is the pro, he's the expert in Carmel Valley, and you know, you cover all of San Diego, but I mean, how important is it if you're selling a home in Carmel Valley to work with someone who knows the school districts, can give you that footage like you did in that great video, can provide that information. So I encourage you, if you're in Carmel Valley, go to brokerkurt.com. He can help you get all the information there. Thank you, Kurt.
Absolutely.